on, world? This is Jacob Washington-Lacey, and I'm coming at you with yet another tutorial. This time, we're going to focus on editing drums. Really focus on the snare drum, but you catch the gist. So, let's get to it. So, as you can see here, I have 3 tracks that make up my snare drum. I have ghost notes, snare T, which is snare top, and then snare bottom. All right, so let me help you understand why I'm doing it this way. So whenever I play drums, I always love to do ghost notes on my snare drum. Now, when it comes to recording, I want the ghost notes to be present in the mix. And so this is why I do this, okay? Because I hear a lot of records and I know drummers are doing ghost notes, but they're not very present. And that kind of makes me sad because it's like, you're only focusing on the attack of the snare and not the entire musical feature of the snare drum. But it is what it is, cool. But since I'm the drummer of this session and I'm also the engineer for this session, you're going to catch these ghost notes. All right. So here's how I did it. So during my editing phase, I decided to go through my snare track and, Command E. And I just made a bunch of clips. I did all the clips to exactly where the ghost notes were, right? And then I just simply, created me a mono track and then simply just dragged those ghost notes up onto its own track. All right. So now this gives me complete control on how present the ghost notes are. Now, that's not the only way I can accomplish this same goal. With me doing the same thing, Command E and making clips, I can also do, clip gain. Clip gain. Clip gain. Clip gain. Or better yet, if I don't want to do that, then I could just simply do, automation, turn up, automation, turn up, and so far and so forth. But I ain't want to do all this. I wanted my ghost notes to be on its own track. So that way I have complete control over the dynamics. All right. And so, well, I'm going to let you hear it. So here's what it sounds like as is. Sounds lovely, don't you think? Oh, I don't care what you think. No, I'm playing. It sounds lovely. So now, here's the goal. My end game. I now need both snare T and ghost notes to just be one snare track. Now, if you're thinking, well, how do you do that? It's very easy. As you can see here, both of these tracks are being sent to this auxiliary, which is labeled snare top. This is where I have my plugin for my EQ compressor and what is the word I'm looking for? Well, it is what it is. So yeah, that's where I have a plugin. And then here I also have an out where it's being sent to the reverb, so I can get more of the goodness of the snare drum, right? So here's what I'm going to simply do. I'm going to Shift Command in, make me a new mono audio track. By the way, if you do not know your shortcuts, I highly recommend that you do. You take the time to learn them. They're very helpful and it helps your workflow. So I'm simply going to drag my plug-in to the audio track, drag this out, then come into my IOs. On the input, I'm going to go to bus, and then I'm going to locate snare top. And then on the output, I'm going to go to bus, and I'm going to send it to drum subs. All right. So now I don't have a need for this. So I could either hide and make inactive or just simply delete. Either one works fine. So we just going to delete. So now I'm going to rename. I'm going to color code them because I like organization. I really do. I'm really big on it. Command S. I love Command S, and you should love Command S too. Although my auto backups is set for 1 minute, Command S is still my friend. So now when I hit the record button for a snare top, let's watch it work. All right, that's good enough. So now if I were to come to this same snare top track, and I just solo it, what does it sound like? Sounds lovely. I get a well balance of the attack, the hits, and I get my ghost notes. And as you heard in the mix, both are very present. Both are not overbearing the other. And I get a full, complete sound of my drums. So yeah. Now, again, this is not the only way to do it, but this is my favorite way of doing this. You may have your way. That's perfectly fine. If you don't have your preferred way, I highly recommend that you try this out. If you like it, keep going with it. If you don't like it, try something else. Or better yet, make some adjustments to this way, and you may come up with your own method of doing the same thing as I am. Well, this is your video. This is Jacob Washington-Lacey, and get to work.